and it's an honor to have this opportunity to speak in front of the salt of the earth, which is how I regard all of you. The little blurb describing what I was going to talk about is a couple of weeks out of date. That's about when I started to prepare this talk. And going through the video material that's available and trying to think of having some consistent theme, I decided to shift the theme of the talk to the one shown in the title here. As an environmentalist and environmental scientist, I'm concerned about many things. I'm concerned about the impact of human populations on the environment. My first publication on that was 1961, a sophomoric letter written to the Saturday Review of Literature. I'm concerned about immigration as the major cause of U.S. population growth. I'm concerned about how illegal immigration gets most media attention, even though excessive legal immigration is the biggest problem, certainly from the environmental point of view. I suspect that most of you share those concerns and agree that it's the numbers that are the primary concern, not where the numbers are coming from. That somewhat academic, theoretical perspective is much enriched, however, when you start spending time on the border and on the street with Minutemen, as I have done as time permitted during the last 2 years. There you get to experience very directly a lot of hostility, hypocrisy, hate, racism, and even occasionally physical assault. The source of all that is, frankly and primarily, Mexico. The Mexican government, a significant fraction of the Mexican people, and some unknown fraction of Mexican Americans. This is the fact that my title refers to. Mexico, it seems to me, has become a major enemy, and we cannot avoid that fact. Its population increased roughly fivefold over the last half century, creating manifold environmental, economic, and social disasters. Mexico has declared war on all of us who resist accepting more of its excess population. According to the Associated Press, just 3 days ago, Calderon, at a Board of Governors conference in Puerto Peñasco, Sonora, urged the U.S. Congress to approve changes that would allow more Mexicans to work legally north of the border. Mexico insists that we continue mass flows from Mexico. That is the message of these video clips, which are taken from various sources. These are the lowest quality of all the videos you'll see in this presentation, which has something to do with the fact that this is the first time I put them together with the help of another person. But the very roughness of the quality is certainly in harmony with the message itself. The first clip has two parts. One shows the hostility of President Calderon and Mexican Congress towards U.S. sovereignty, and the other shows the Mexican Secretary of the Interior talking about Mexico's southern border being out of control. Can you imagine anything more racist than using the army to keep out illegals? In August 2005, the Pew Hispanic Center published a report on attitudes of Mexicans on immigration issues. Two salient data points came out of that. 46% of adult Mexicans want to come to the U.S. if they can get here, and 21% are willing to enter the U.S. illegally if that's what it takes. In this next clip, one of Mexico's best-known musical groups trance those dry statistics into a little song. That is the milder portion of the song. And should we really be surprised that many Mexicans exhibit the same hostility and arrogance towards the United States that their own government does? How about Mexicans and Mexican Americans in the United States? Most, surely, we all know, are good and decent people. But sometimes small percentages can cause great damage. In the next video, we see Chicano Park in San Diego this past March on Cesar Chavez Day, when Chicano school kids were being encouraged to skip school. Two of San Diego's most active open border agitators, Christian Ramirez of the American Friends Service Committee and Enrique Morones of the Border Angels, were there to stir things up and teach the kids how to evade the law. Two of our feistiest minute women by themselves went down there for the celebration and got the usual sort of reception. The next set of clips show some Latinos, how some Latinos used the American flag to show their hostility towards the U.S. These are all from the past year. The first is from Montebello, California, where some high school kids hung the U.S. flag upside down under the Mexican flag. The second is from Maywood, California, a sanctuary city where 50% of the population are illegal aliens, where they raised the Mexican flag over the U.S. Post Office, and then two later events in Los Angeles where the flag was mistreated. I think it's safe to conclude that some of these folks are not quite through the assimilation process. The final clip focuses on violent crimes perpetrated by illegals and speak for themselves.